There are some unbelievable videos out there. People doing amazing things with superhero-like powers. Many of these hugely popular videos puts into question our very existence. However, unfortunately, they're fake. So right now, we're going to take them to pieces.
Brilliant news!
Number 1. Blue fire. A model is having a photo shoot in the street in Hong Kong. The seemingly legitimate video being recorded then captures a freak event off to the side. A passerby's hands suddenly light up as if by magic. Even the guy seems to be surprised by this, notices the camera and runs off. After a short chase, the guy disappears through a bus. And then is sat meters away, once again marvelling at his own superpower before disappearing. Okay, this one looks pretty convincing. Maybe that's because there's money behind it. Originally aired on Hong Kong television, it was uploaded to YouTube by Jigang Zhao in March of 2011, right when I Am Number 4 was released in Hong Kong, a movie about a young guy often wearing a hoodie, coming to terms with his superpowers. Coincidence? Unfortunately, this is a classic example of movie industry subliminal publicity. Number 2. Superman. A guy is walking through an underground parking lot with his shopping, when suddenly something flashes past him, setting off all the car alarms. Spooky, right? No, this one is laughable. Firstly, the camera is clearly sat on top of a parked car rather than fixed to the ceiling. The editor has added typical security camera effects and timestamp. Then the horribly phony Superman cutout passes, and some light elements are added to the shot, all pulsing at exactly the same time, as if all the cars have exactly the same car alarm and were all set off at exactly the same time. Seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if this was made by this same guy testing out some new editing software. Number 3. Telekinesis. A bus stops in Thailand to let some passengers out, among them some Thai school children. A couple get into a heated argument when one of the boys goes to hit the arguing girl. Her friend shockingly appears to knock him over using some invisible force. The other boy goes to attack her, but she flings him up against the bus, apparently using telekinesis. Surprised by her own powers almost as much as the surrounding crowd, she screams and things fly around. This all seems quite convincing due to the candid camera. However, again, this is probably because there was money behind it. Yes, this is likely another subliminal advert, this time for the remake of Carrie. Much like the New York version where the black-haired girl acting the part of Carrie mystically pins someone against a wall.
Just get away from me!
She then is surprised by her own powers, screams and makes things fly around. Seem familiar? Both videos hit YouTube in October 2013, right before the remake of Carrie hit the cinemas. Number 4. Teleportation. A Chinese traffic camera captured this shocking event one night in 2012. A rickshaw crosses the road right in front of an oncoming truck. He is miraculously transported meters away, apparently teleported out of harm's way by a mysterious female who hurries away. The effects used on this one were pretty convincing. Probably another high-budget advert for another movie. The security camera shows the oncoming truck and then a strange off-color blur appears. Its blue hue doesn't quite fit with the green security footage. The blur that supposedly is the person sticks around for a few frames after the person has fully materialized and just stands there. The fact that the camera is static makes it far too easy just to cut together different timelines, which is probably how this was done.
Look out, mister, here comes your truck again.
Phew, saved again. Number 5. Super speed. An old man is walking along the street with a young boy on a scooter, perhaps his grandson, when this unexplainable event happens. What just happened? Supposedly a piece of building falls right where the pedestrians are walking, but a mysterious shadow pulls them out of the way just in time. Again, this one looks amateurish. Maybe it was made by the other guy. This time the flying sprite is done much better, but the rock falling is obviously a clip from a stock VFX library. It's this easy. Number 6. Teleportation Girl. Someone filming some beautiful kites in China, when suddenly a halo flashes around a passerby's head. The girl runs off, revealing the design of a golden dragon head on the back of her hoodie. Suddenly, and quite remarkably, she shoots off into thin air, apparently flying right over the bay. Surely this can't be fake. We see the same girl with a dragon hoodie in a regular supermarket, apparently getting groceries. But look out, that trolley is heading right for that kid. Luckily, her telekinesis saves the day. Unfortunately for believers everywhere, the dragon design on her hoodie matches that of Dragon Totem Girl, one of the characters from the video game Zushan 2, which wanmei.com promoted by making various candid videos, one of them also being this one. Remember that rickshaw guy? Yeah, that was her too. Number 7. Windbender. A student walks up to a pile of leaves, apparently starts summoning his superpower, and begins mysteriously moving the leaves on the ground. They start swirling around him as if dancing to his commands. Does he have propellers in his hands? Is this guy a real-life storm or windbender? This is simply a freak cyclonic wind, and the guy was in the right place at the right time. Perhaps surprised himself by the wind, he thought it looked cool to pretend he was controlling the leaves. Nothing supernatural here. Number 8. Levitation. A street performer in India demonstrates his bizarre abilities of levitation to spectators, spinning cards in thin air. When handed a tip, he kisses it, puts it on the ground, and then magically makes it levitate too. Is this a guru of the dark arts? This is obviously not a case of telekinesis or levitation, but requires a lot of skill nonetheless. The performer has a thin black thread in his mouth. Notice how he reels in the slack with his tongue. He has stuck one end of the thread to the back of the card, and the other hangs from his mouth, suspending it in the air whilst he skillfully moves his hands around it. He then takes the tourist's note, and when he goes to kiss it, sticks the thread to it, and by reeling in the thread again with his tongue, slowly makes it levitate. Not supernatural, but still talented enough to make many believe in this illusion. Number 9. Earthbender. In this clip, a Shaolin monk-like man proceeds to pull a gigantic rock out of the ground using his mind. This impressive feat is somewhat made less believable by the out-of-sync movements between the rock and the monk's hand movements, and also the 3 token onlookers and a typical reporter supposedly commenting. You could almost believe this incredible spectacle if it wasn't for the lack of grass around the rock, indicating that the ground has been tampered with, and no doubt there are a couple of guys below pushing up the fake rock. But mainly for the fact that it was released days before the movie The Last Airbender hit the cinemas in China. A weak adaptation of the anime featuring a 12-year-old boy named Aang and his flying pet bison. Number 10. Time Traveler. On this road in Russia, a dashcam caught this. A woman seemingly appears in front of a truck, which swerves to narrowly miss her, and she continues walking and stops on the side of the road. Now, there's no smoking gun to call fake on this one. If time travel were possible, she could have hypothetically materialized in front of the truck, sure. But if she had, why on earth wasn't she terrified by the near-death experience? The most likely scenario here is that she was either inebriated or has dementia or similar. There are many other cases of absent-minded jaywalkers. She probably escaped her carers and wandered across the road. The truck driver, only seeing her at the last second, swerves, causing her to turn back around to where she had come from. Not to say that this is still pretty damn weird. Which one of these supposed superpowers surprised you the most? Comment below.